Hi, I'm Sushant Virokon, the Chief Consultant in Pinnacle's consultancy firm. Today, I'm going to discuss about why these ERP systems fails. If you consider about 100 ERPs, out of 100, more than 70, around 70 to 80 ERP implementations are failed. Why these ERP systems fail? Why it make $1 million mistake, multi-million dollar mistake, right? I'm going to point out 7 points which is related to fail of these ERP systems and how we can overcome those. Some are at the very beginning. First point is, are you really ready for an ERP? This is very important. Companies jump straight vendor selection without assessing their organizational maturity, data readiness, or clear strategic objectiveness. They need a system but aren't ready to the transformation. How we can overcome? Conduct a formal ERP readiness assessment focusing on data quality, process standardization, and executive alignments before issuing any RFP request for proposal. Second one is, have you selected the correct ERP system? Selection is driven by marketing hype, cost, or familiarity instead of detailed analysis of which system best supports their future state business process and strategic directions. Don't just demo features. Choose based on which system imposes the least customization. Right? As an example, which system best practice align with your industry and strategic needs. Third one is unrealistic requirements. Stakeholders demand a new system must replicate every single piece of functionality from the old system, including unique bespoke customization that at zero strategic value. Implement a strict fit to standard policy. Challenge every customization request with a question: does this customization gives us a comparative advantage, or is it just replicating the old habit? You have to answer this question before go for any customization in any ERP system. That should add comparative advantage, or there should be any kind of strategic value. If you consider about the strategic oversight, right? Next point I am going to point out is lack of strategic contribution. Key business leaders view ERP as a nice to have operational upgrade instead of the central platform for achieving their 3 5 years strategic goals. Maybe global expansion, supply chain agility, that they have to focus that 3 to 5 years strategic achievement. Form a steering committee composed on suitable members who meet weekly and held directly accountable for the project success metrics tied to business KPIs. Many companies, many organizations, they are considering enterprise resource planning system as a solely an IT project. That is the fifth mistake they are doing. The biggest killer of strategic ROI, the IT department can install the software, but they cannot drive fundamental business process change required to the success. Redesignate the project as a business transformation project with IT enablement. The project manager and executive sponsor must come from the business side, operation, finance, or strategic level. The sixth point I am going to highlight is lack of business process re-engineering, BPR. Simply replicating the old system with a new one without redesigning inefficient, fragmented processes. This leads to high customization cost and perpetuates legacy inefficiency. Use ERP as the project engine. Design your to be process based on global best practices before configuration begins. The goal is transformation, not transaction replication. Seventh point I am going to highlight is internal resistance. People naturally resist to change. If the why is not clearly and repeatedly communicated, the adaptation fails and employees revert to external spreadsheets or legacy workarounds. Invest heavily in organizational change management from the day one. Identify key stakeholders early and involve them in designing the new process. If you are leading transformation, these 7 points are your litmus test. Ignoring them turns strategic investment into multi-million dollar write-off. My specialization is ensuring your ERP investment pays off strategically. Maybe you are in a very beginning of implementation of ERP system. Maybe you are in a selection point. Maybe you are in a mid of installation with many headaches. Anytime you can communicate with Pinnacle's consultancies. Thank you very much.